Hey, welcome back to the channel, everyone. So it's that time again. Here's another video with all the additions to the collection that I've picked up in March. Starting off, we have Tomb Mold's Aperture of Body, self-released by the band in 2022 in the lead up to their 2023 album, The Enduring Spirit. This is a pretty good taste of what was to come, I guess you could say, on their fourth record. It's a nice mix of moody ambience and crushing death metal. There were 3 runs of this demo. This is the second pressing, I guess you can say, but I understand there's no real difference between any of the different runs. And next we have a reissue of Tenebro's 2023 record, Ultime, Grida, Dalla, Giungla, which translates to Latest Cries from the Jungle. This was actually one of my favourite records from 2023. It's a really grueling, heavy mess of a death metal record inspired by classic cult Italian horror movies such as Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox. This year, I've actually been trying to limit myself from collecting variants of records that I already own, but I couldn't resist picking this one up with the alternative sleeve. This one's the Holocaust variant with a still from the movie as the cover that you can see here. This is limited to 50 copies, coming in a red shell. There's also a Ferox variant, also limited to 50 copies. But yeah, couldn't resist adding this one to the collection. Moving along, we have the Human Puzzle demo released by Iron Fortress Records in 2024. This is another great release from last year that I've only now been able to get a physical copy of. This is 4 tracks of brutal death metal, done just right. Super raw production on this as well, which is what you want from a demo like this. But yeah, this is an absolute banger, so go check it out if you haven't already. Alrighty, now we have Deformed Christ with their debut EP, Rites from Archaic Kult, and this thing is an absolute belter. This is absolute punishing death metal all the way from Brazil, and the best way to probably describe this is they're essentially the Brazilian Deicide. Just listen to the song Guts Baptism and yeah, find out for yourself. Because this thing, yeah, absolutely shreds. So just do yourself a favor and go listen to it. It's really, really good. Next, we have a reissue of Dipygus's demo tape released by Iron Fortress Records in 2024. My first introduction to the band was their latest album that came out last year. And I've been trying to find all their early releases as this band just goes right in. Influenced by a lot of cryptozoology and other weird shit kind of along those lines. But yeah, this is really primitive sounding death metal. The demo is really raw, which kind of suits the theme of the band, I think. I really like this one, and yeah, hopefully I can pick up the rest of their discography sooner rather than later. And next we have the debut EP demo Terminal Devastation from Aussie death metal band Idolatry. This thing came out last year, released by Rotted Life Records in the US, but I was able to get one of the few copies the band had available on their Bandcamp. But yeah, this thing goes hard. This is really angry, non-stop death metal. Go check this thing out. I'll leave a link in the description below. And moving along, next up we have Infernal Demise by UK death metal outfit Jaundice. This is the band's debut release, with Crypt of the Wizard Records releasing this cassette. This is the first issue on red and yellow tapes, you can see there. I believe there's a second issue that has just recently been released as well. These guys are self-described as disgustingly putrid death metal, though this probably isn't as putrid or gross as some of their contemporaries, thinking kind of along the lines of Cryptworm, for example. But this is still delivering a good fix of mid-tempo death metal with some really good riffing at times. I think what makes this stand out is that there's 3 different vocalists on this thing. There's quite a range in the vocal types that you hear on this. Some of them are probably a bit more hardcore leaning, I guess you could say, notably on the track Fatal Exhumation, while the rest of the vocals, I guess, are more typical death metal sounding. But yeah, this is a really cool release and definitely worth your time checking out. Now we have the debut release, Abysmal Halls of Death by Gorefixion. So these guys are a Finnish gore grind band, and this is probably exactly what you'd expect from a Finnish gore grind band, I think you could say. It's thick, it's heavy, it's gross. The vocals range from your typical brutal death metal growls, with at times down-pitched gurgles. So this is super heavy. This is another record that was originally released digitally in 2024, but has since received a physical release, this time by Iron Corpse Records in 2025. I believe there's only 40 of these made, so probably you need to be quick if you want to grab a copy, if you haven't already. So I can't imagine this being available for too much longer, because this thing absolutely belts. And next we have the CD reissue of the Necrocide demo tape, Vomit Forth Blood. This demo originally came out in 1995, and the reissue was done by Corpse Gristle Records in 2013. This is an absolutely incredible sounding demo. I don't think this reissue has any kind of remastering done to it, which just makes you appreciate how good this actually is. The drums are absolutely pummeling and just smack you around while you're listening to this. And the vocals are also really good. Nice and low guttural growls, which is, what you want from brutal death metal. My only criticism of this is probably that it comes in a cardboard sleeve rather than a jewel case. Not much of a fan of CD releases like this, but what can you do? But this is a really good demo, highly recommend checking this one out. Next up, we have the self-titled album by Italian death metal band Orgiastic Pleasures, released by Dynamite Productions in 2024. I picked this up purely based on the cover. When you see something like this used as a cover for a death metal band, you just know it's going to be good, and this really doesn't disappoint. At times, the vocals kind of remind me of Suffocation on their Human Waste EP, or maybe Effigy of the Forgotten. This 31 minutes of blasphemous, blackened death metal that you just need to go check out for yourself. Really good. Really do recommend it. And so now we have the last cassette release that I picked up in March. We have Kārtël with Ningun Humano es Ilegal, which translates to No Human Being is Illegal. And I've probably butchered that pronunciation as well. But this really describes, I think, what the band represents. Kārtël are a New York-based hardcore band made up of a number of Latino immigrants. This is a furious, unapologetically punk EP that is just non-stop and doesn't give you a chance to collect your thoughts while listening to this. This is for fans of bands like Muro and Uzi, or just any other hardcore band that really stands for something. This was released by Noise Merchant Records in the UK. I think it's sold out now, but go check this out anyway and pay for the digital release to support the band, as this thing absolutely rips. And now we have the debut demo, Irreversible Collapse by US death metal band Anhedonia. So obviously this is the CD version, released by Collide Records in 2024, limited to 100. There are also a couple of cassette pressings released by Petty Theft Records, all of which are sold out. But this is 4 tracks, within 10 minutes, hardcore influenced death metal, sort of in the vein of Final Resting Place, if you know those guys. But this is more super heavy death metal that's not really breaking the mold or doing anything that's not already been done before. But if you like death metal that has those hardcore influences or hardcore undertones, then you'll really like this. So go check it out and support the band. And next we have the new Pissgrave record, Malignant, Worthlessness, that came out earlier this year. I've already done a separate video reviewing this on the channel, so you can go check that out. And I won't say too much more about it, but yeah, this thing shreds and will be really hard to beat for Best Death Metal Album in 2025. And now we have the 2023 reissue of Tim by The Replacements. This specific reissue is called the Let It Bleed edition and comes with 1 record and 4 CDs that you can see here. There's the hype sticker. The record and the first CD have the Ed Stasium mix of the original album that just sounds incredible. Almost sounds like it's a completely different record. It sounds amazing. The other 3 CDs here are made up of another remaster of the album, a collection of unreleased and alternative versions of the songs, as well as a live show from 1986. But this is a great collection of music, and the Ed Stasium mix just sounds incredible. And I was lucky enough to grab this direct from the Warner Bros. Merch store, because I think this is otherwise long sold out. So yeah, really stoked to have added this one to the collection. Alright, next we have the grunge, the punk, probably grunge classic, Bricks Are Heavy by L7. This is the UK pressing of the album, released by Slash and London Records in 1992. This version comes with a massive poster that may cause offence, as highlighted on the hype sticker here. Never really got into grunge and Nirvana or other bands like that, but this is a really great record, and yeah, can only recommend it. So go check it out if you haven't listened to it. And now we have the debut album Australienation by Aussie band Punter. This is a really good debut record from these guys. At its heart, you could probably say it's a punk record, but I think it kind of sits more between punk and garage or proto-punk even. This thing also has bagpipes and some other instrumentation you wouldn't normally associate with this type of music, which kind of makes it stand out a bit. But yeah, this is the Aussie pressing on Televised Suicide, also available from Drunken Sailor in the UK and Green Noise and Sorry State in the US. But yeah, this is a pretty fun record, so go check it out if you haven't already. And now to the last addition to the collection for March, and probably my biggest purchase for the year so far, an original pressing of the Dix Kill From The Heart LP, released on SST Records in 1983. And this one's actually eluded me for a while. I actually had a chance to pick a copy of this up a few years ago for $75 on Discogs, but took too long to bite the bullet and ended up missing it, which was a bit disappointing. But alas, here it is. Now, I don't know if this is quite as good as their Hate the Police 7-inch, but this is still a classic. It's hardcore punk with country or blues influences in some parts, making it such a unique record for the time. But yeah, this is again a classic record, and yeah, if you're into hardcore punk, go check it out if you haven't already. So yeah, that's everything that I've picked up in March. Just let me know if you've checked out any of these releases. Let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.